So a parish in Louisiana has basically said we're racist and we know it, and we're glad that now we can show it because they have absolutely ended their desegregation order from 1966, which was a legal agreement. Their attorney general, Harmeet Dillon, was like, this administration is getting America focused on a bright future. Baby, have you seen yourself? A bright future that you're going to exclude Black, brown, and disabled children from. Very interesting. Now, the Justice Department officials appointed by Public Wiki number one have expressed the desire to withdraw from other desegregation orders because, there are many other schools across America that do have these orders because why? They needed follow up because they kept trying to inch their way back the other way. And I will go ahead and throw out the CMS is one of those schools that you might want to look into, those districts. Because they were absolutely in this article. Now, they are calling these orders a unnecessary burden on schools. Yes, for them to make sure that they include your Black, brown, and disabled children, this was an unnecessary burden. And like I said, these were court enforced agreements. Now, some of the ones they, like I said, had to be revisited year by year because they were saying that the government was going to eradicate segregation. I know, child. I know. Now, Louisiana officials called these bygone relics that should have been wiped away a long time ago. Child, being nice is a relic, is what they say. So the 1960s Congress, unleashed the department to go after schools that resisted being desegregated. Like I said, CMS, check into that history, child. Yes, so these were called consent decrees. And these are orders that could be lifted once the districts proved that they have eliminated segregation and its legacy. So, which means they eliminated all those people that were stringing along the legacy of segregation. Now, they're calling this situation for this particular parish admin neglect because the judge that put it in place unfortunately passed away that same year that he did it. But he knew that y'all ass was going to be racist as fuck, so this needed to happen. Well, here's the thing. Now, they're trying to say that no court action since then has been enacted. So the parties have basically satisfied and fully resolved this. But it hasn't been because the superintendent said that every year, and she was like, they're visited, and the last time she remembers was 2023, and they were absolutely asking for files. They were absolutely asking for like bus schedules and stuff, because that's the other thing is how many children are you busing in from other areas that would not have access to a decent school if it were not for the busing in program. And she was just like, this was so many hours, and it was so much for us to compile and do and all the things. Her district has less than 4,000 students, and you knew that those people were coming every year because you knew that your ass would run towards the racism at any facet that you could, because now you can. So why were y'all not ready? Why were you not doing your job and being ready? That's what we want to know. And then here's the thing, the fact that Don and his wiglet are really on this. Why didn't you do this your last go round? If this was really important, I want you all to really understand what's behind the machine and how they are. Like when we tried to tell y'all about Project 2025, and a lot of people was like, oh, you're fear mongering. Oh, you're this, you're that. That's not in there. This shit was absolutely in there. This was absolutely in there, and they are absolutely doing what they are trying to do at this point. Just because she, could have had that order lifted if they were doing what they were supposed to do. But the fact that those people kept coming back every year, that meant that you still needed some work. Because yes, you could have done your job and said, hey, we've been doing this year after year. Can we not go ahead and lift this if we were abiding by? That meant you weren't doing your job. And now you're out here complaining because someone, oh, it was so many hours for me to have to do my job because you weren't doing shit else. I can guarantee you that. Y'all, y'all better get ready to start homeschooling your babies, especially if your babies are Black, brown, or have any type of disability or any type of, learning disability, or, any type of accommodation that these people are going to act like it's too much for them, that it's a burden. Because as you can see, they said that this was a burden to the schools. Your baby is a burden to them. They only want them little babies that look like them.